All right, welcome back to the Bob Show. Thank you for watching, listening, viewing, and subscribing. Today's guest, we have Chuck the Iceman Liddell. How you doing, Chuck?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. I really appreciate you doing this for us.
Oh, yeah.
I know you've known my family for a lot of years.
A lot of years, man. You've seen me doing since you were little.
Yeah, so this is our first, I think it's like one of the first time we actually sat down and talking to each other. I think.
Well, actually, it is, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think, I mean, you probably heard me give some speeches at your dad's house.
Oh, yeah, all the time. Thanks for waking us up Saturday last night.
My pleasure. That was funny.
But no, so I definitely want to have a few things in the podcast to kind of get out about people, about you and your career. So how did you start your career? How did you get noticed by the UFC?
Actually, you know, I got asked by Nick One Kick from Vegas to do a mixed fight on his card. I mean, well, I get to back it up. Like, Nick's guy was the first guy to get me into kickboxing.
Oh, okay.
John Hackelman's always been my trainer, but Nick helped me get started. Like, he was the first guy to do a fight, and you know, that's another story. But so he came to me, you know, and he's my friend Alfie Alcaraz. Fights for him, was a kickboxing champion, and actually, man, he was tough, man. He at the time there was only the lowest class was 155. Mm-hmm. He was a natural 125 pounder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean at 125, I mean, and the guy that became the champion at the time, he lost a split decision to, and I mean, if there was a 35 back then or 25s, yeah. He would have been more champ. But anyway, so Nick asked him about me. Oh, you say Chuck used to wrestle? You think you'd do a mixed fight? So, yeah, sure, I'll try it. So it was supposed to be open hand. It's funny, it's supposed to be open hand strikes like pancreas on the ground and standing, and then kicks and knees were fine. And then, but they kept taking things away, like as we were getting to closer. And by the time we got there, you could slap when you're standing with these. You can slap with this part of your hand, you can't use your palm.
Oh, okay.
And you can still kick a knee. And then on the ground, you couldn't strike. It was all wrestling. All jiu-jitsu. I mean, I wound up kicking the guy in the head and knocking him out. And I know a guy from the stand, you know, the guy from in the stands goes, hey, man, you want to fight in the UFC? We got a tournament coming up, I can get you on as an alternate. I'm like, sure, that easy?
Yeah.
Okay. Because, you know, back then, everyone had all these stories about these tournaments to get into the UFC, mm-hmm. And like, well, my master went there and he was too dangerous he was hurting people too much, so they won't use him, and all that crazy stuff people say. But yeah, everyone, and I'm like, because people used to tell me you should fight in the UFC. I mean, you're a kickboxer and you wrestle, and you know, like, yeah, I mean, you're a full fighter. You should fight in the UFC. And they're like, well, I don't know how. You tell me how. Tell me where to find it. Yeah. Everyone keeps telling me about these tournaments, but no one seems to have a date or a place to go. So, but yeah, it just I really kind of fell into it. I mean, I randomly was kickboxing just because Alfie was a friend of mine. I wanted to go watch him. And they wanted to ask me if I wanted to fight. I said, sure, why not? And then it didn't happen that time, but you know, I just met John Hackelman and started training with him and started fighting.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's awesome.
So it was better than getting a real job. I was in school. I finished my degree in accounting, but it was
I heard about that.
It was pretty funny. Like I remember my first foreigner level class, and they're like, and, you know, had everyone go around and say what they're doing. And, oh, I'm so and so. I got an internship with these people, and I just got off that, and I'm gonna go there. And close to guys getting out of school and we graduated, where they're gonna work, and I'm like, you know, I'm here just finishing up because I started it. I wanted to have my degree, but I'm gonna be a fighter. Yeah. And I was talking about kickboxing at the time, and it was like, you don't think about it, but like we go to have a group, like they want a group project. Yeah. Nobody wanted me in their group. I'm like, really? Like I got an A in the class. I mean, but everyone thought, you know, he's scared to be a fighter. He doesn't want to. He's not going to be here and not do anything. So. Yeah, it was funny. I did my first project by myself. I'm like, you know what, whatever. I'll just do it.
You kind of knew what you wanted. So because I know you started to do more movies and TV shows. Do you like the acting side? Or
You know, I got into it, like, really, I got into that stuff, just trying to get exposure for our sport. You know,
Okay.
trying to get us in different avenues, like Dancing with the Stars. I mean,
Yeah.
I did that because that's definitely not our demographic.
Yeah.
So, but you know, you got guys watch it, and you get more people watching. They get it. More people will watch theirs that aren't their demographic for sure. You know, it's now different people know me.
Yeah, because I was
different
when we first met you. When I a few years later, I was watching a show called Blue Mountain State, and I was watching the episode, and I was like, I know that. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't.
It's funny
never
they
knew
let
you
me
were on
use that combination. That's my
Yeah.
that was my that's our. We used to do point sparring every once in a while, like just around, just goofing off, doing sometimes during training camp. And so I called two guys in the middle of point sparring, and if you could land that horseshoe punch,
it. Yeah.
you won the tournament.
Greatest fighting
It
move
was,
ever.
it was so good. That's why we actually do that. I actually landed that move a couple times with the guys. They know what
Really?
you're doing. You know, I usually try it on the guys that haven't been there before. So
Yeah.
as soon as they see me do as soon as the guys have been there, as soon as they see me do a cartwheel, I know I'm coming for that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's funny.
Would you want to do more movies and TV shows?
Oh yeah, that's one of the things. Like I said, if I liked it, I keep doing it. Like
Yeah.
I like doing this stuff. I like acting. I like acting class. I just went to a cool acting class the other day. I'm a friend I met at the kids' school
Oh,
invited me to his acting class, and it was awesome. So.
okay. Nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, no, I was.
I think I've never actually done any like improv stuff there and drills and stuff. And like, he's like, man, you did good. I'm like, I don't know how good I did, but I'm if I'm gonna do it, I do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I go after it. I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you, because especially with the acting and the TV shows and all that, especially with the new stuff with social media, you've hung out with like the newer generations of social media, like the Logan Paul, Jake Paul.
Yeah,
I know you.
I know that,
I know
yeah.
Jake Paul called you out. That was kind of funny.
It was after I think I said something too. You know, and funny thing, you know, after I went, I like the guys. I did the Logan Paul's podcast.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And I like the guys, and I actually think he's getting better, and he's a good fighter. I mean, they're picking and choosing opponents, right? But
Yeah.
but they need to. They give him time to get better. You know, like if he really crosses over and takes on a legit boxer and beats him, hey man, you got to sign. But I mean, he can hit, definitely hit. It's hard. But like we were going, and he's like, no. Like I'm coming into their booth to say hi to congratulations to Logan for the fight. And I'm like. And he's like, no. I'm like, well, bro, like, it's okay, man. I'm just, if you ask me about that, about anybody, I'm gonna tell them, yeah, you give it to me, I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah.
So, but it's like, look, you're like a shit talker. Like, you're a trash talker. That's what you do. Like, you were trolling the MMA. Hey, we can have a back and forth. If it's gonna hurt your feelings, I'm good. I don't care. Like, I was gonna mess with you, but I mean.
But, yeah, no, because
Well, I mean, I'll just give you straight facts. You get guys trying to get guys that are lighter than you right now, and they get guys that aren't striking. It's not their thing.
yeah,
You know, because those guys are more dangerous. Guys that pick a guy that's a real good striker.
Yeah.
That's your size.
That's gonna be.
Oh yeah.
It's different than a guy smaller than you that wrestles basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But,
wrestles and throws bombs.
yeah. So, you still love the fight game.
Oh, I still love the fight game.
Would you
Yeah.
ever want to coach an up-and-coming fighter, or would you more so want to like just throw in little hints there?
Oh, for me right now, because I have my kids, and my kids are at, in 8 years or so. When the kids are done, I still feel like it. I wouldn't mind having a fight team and overseeing a fight team and doing that stuff. But right now, the problem is it's the time commitment.
Yeah.
And for me, I've been blessed in the industry, and I'm able to do a lot of things. I make more money doing other things with my time than training guys, just training guys, and but I still enjoy it. Like so I love working with I'll show some guys stuff that I do different than they do. And I always tell guys, like, you got here for a reason. Don't forget about your stuff.
Yeah.
I'll show you what I do too. 'Cause there's a couple little old school moves and little moves that, that work great for me, and maybe they'll work for you. And if you like them, take them.
Yeah,
If you
exactly.
don't,
Okay.
just don't. I'll try everything. I used to work with a boxing guy, and I don't, just good boxing coach. I just tell him, look, this is my stance. I fight in MMA, so this is my stance. I'm not changing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go. I mean, I'll listen. Everything else, you're the expert at boxing. That's why I'm talking to you. I'm having you come in here and work with you. I'm gonna try to learn what you learn.
Yeah.
But my stance stays here because I'm not going to change my stance for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way. I have to fight from there. This is where I'm going to fight from. I've been fighting there for 30 years, so not going to happen. Or 20 years, or whenever, 10, 15, whenever they're talking to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So with you've been fighting your whole life, right? Like
Yeah.
I heard in interviews you were a big street fight guy. What's your opinion on street fighting? There's a lot of underground fights. There's a lot of
Underground. Well, street fight and underground fights are two different things.
Yeah.
Two trained guys choosing to fight an underground fight. That's totally different than a street fight. Most street fights are silly. Like I don't get it. I used to have people say, why don't you just punk that guy? I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I don't want to punk him. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna explain to him that he's wrong. But I can always elevate, right?
Yeah.
You can always bring it up.
Oh, yeah.
It's really hard to bring it down when you brought it up. So obviously that guy, I obviously don't have as much problem as most people. Yeah, I've had people, whatever. I'm like, bro, no, that's not what I want. You don't have to worry about me. If you talk me into hitting you, you're good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
That's a tough one to do, man.
especially like with your whole persona, like the Iceman, one of the most hard-hitting UFC fighters to ever walk. If you're gonna hit him, you're gonna hit him 110%.
But I'm older now. And I mean, when I was a kid, my line to fight was way down here.
Yeah.
It's a beer down. Don't get me wrong, it's still there. You can still get that.
Yeah.
And the decision is like this.
Oh,
I remember one time we were at a club and some girls and my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, was getting in her friend's face, this other girl. So I was watching everything going on, and I saw it coming. She went back to swing and grabbed her arm, caught her arm as she was punching and swept her. I was like, how'd you do that? I pay attention.
Yeah.
But the reactions are quick. But I've had guys take swings. I mean, back before when I was kickboxing, even back in the bar, I gotta take a swing. You sure you want to do that? Grab their arm, hold them. Hey, you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, because you used to be a bartender, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I never knew that.
I bartended for a long time.
Any stories with being a bartender? Anything crazy?
Oh
happen to
yeah.
you?
Well, we had nothing that crazy. I mean, we had some pretty good ones.
Yeah.
We had some interesting things come out of there, but we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fights. But it was a fun bar. I mean, it's the most popular bar in a college town. It was the busiest downtown bar. And we had a great time. Those were good days, and there's good people there.
Yeah.
I'm still friends with the old owners, and
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you've lived in California your whole life, right?
Yeah, born and raised in Santa Barbara, moved up to San Luis Obispo, an hour and a half north
Oh, okay.
of the coast, and then now I live about an hour and 15 minutes south.
Do you want to live in California for the rest of your life, or you're like, I want to retire here?
For now, I just want to be around my kids,
Yeah.
wherever they're at. So, I don't think I'm moving anytime soon.
Yeah.
So. But California, it's hard. It's expensive, and they're trying to make it worse. But I'm born on the coast. It's kind of weird to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
I was up for it. I was up to move. We were looking at it before COVID and stuff. We were talking about moving, but I don't know. I could be talked into moving anywhere. I can live anywhere. Although I don't really want to be in like heavy cold places. Because I love visiting. Don't get me wrong. But when all the stuff that my relatives that are in like the mountains in New Jersey and stuff like that. They have real winners. I don't want to be there for
Yeah.
that.
So Boston's a
really-
no-go for you? Massachusetts, no-go?
Oh, I love Boston
Yeah.
to visit. Yeah,
To visit, yeah.
You know,
Good
you
choice.
know, what was that? Spring and fall, right?
Yeah, it's probably around the best times.
Exactly.
Summer's not fun.
It's like Jersey, like spring and fall.
Oh, yeah.
With my brother, I have a bunch of relatives back there, but they're all good people. Hi guys.
Yeah.
But
So, in your heyday, like when you were, because you were 21-8, right, for your UFC career around then.
Yeah.
Did you ever have, like, I know some UFC fighters, some boxers have routines, like rituals before their fight. Did you ever have one?
I mean, a ritual. Okay. I guess I can tell you what I did. Like, I mean, it's sort of a ritual, but it's not like if I missed something, I'd be like freaked out.
Yeah.
You know, I would, you know, I'd stop eating and drinking at about 8 at night. I'd get my weight down to about, I'd probably wake up in the morning at 2:13 in that ballpark. So I had to make 2:05. So, you know, I'd stop eating and drinking at 8. And then, actually, when I got up in the morning, I have a triple shot of espresso and a half of a protein bar. Like well, no replacement bar, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I put my plastics on. Go about 11:30. Then the new weigh-ins would kill me. That would really kill me because I used to get up at 11:30, start running, lose my weight, and then we weigh at 4, no problem. Then put your weight back on.
Yeah.
Because I cut. I mean, I had that down. I mean, it was just easy to get from where I was going. But yeah, I don't know if I'd like how they do the new weigh-ins. How the afternoon weigh-ins is just for show.
Yeah.
They do the real weigh-ins like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, so now I either have to cut weight before I go to bed. Before I go to bed and go to bed on it and wait that much longer. I like to keep the water out of I don't know if it matters medically, but I personally, for me, I like to keep the water out of my system as little time as possible. So if I made weight at 1 and I weigh in at 4, it's 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
So, but if I make weight the night before, now I gotta sleep for 8 hours, and now I gotta get up and weigh in. I mean, now I kept the water up for a lot longer, so I don't know that matter. But here's the other thing: I don't get up at 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never did throughout my career. Look, I fight at 9 o'clock at night. People say, "Oh, you gotta get up early and run." I'm gonna look. Your body has a clock. The body operates it starts releasing chemicals to go to bed. If you're going to bed every night, 10 o'clock, about 9 at 9, it's already getting ready. Your body's shutting down. Now you got to fight at 9:30. Why?
Yeah.
I used to be my first workout, other than Mondays. So that's a whole different thing. But my first workout was always like we get there about 11:30. You know, we spar or do sparring and striking. So but having to get up and make weight and then go sleep again the day before the fight would really suck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I just didn't do that. Because I'd stay up till about 2 every night. Not like I'd be at the house watching TV or writing or reading or whatever, but watching movies.
So when you would go into the octagon, was there ever like a moment where you were like, shit, like this is happening?
No, not like that. No.
You're always ready?
I'll tell you, some of the funniest ones I had was like I was walking out for my first UFC. Everyone thought, really? Because I was walking out for my first UFC 17, and they had my right name spelled right everywhere else. I'm walking out, I look up, and the
Jumbotron?
Jumbotron, it's Lidell. I'm really? I'm like, did someone change that up?
Yeah.
My grandma's gonna roll over in her grave and slap me across the back of the head for not making sure that was right. But it was cool. That was funny.
Yeah. Is there any? So I know you played football when you were younger, right?
Yeah, I played in high school and college. I played 1 year at Cal Poly through spring training.
Never wanted to be in the NFL?
Of course I did.
Yeah.
I was like growing up as a kid. I wanted to be a pro baseball player. I want to be an athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be honest, by the time I was like, even in my junior and senior in high school, I was always drawing karate gyms that I was going to build.
Okay.
And, so, really, my fallback plan for a long time was to open a gym and just run a gym. So, that was my fallback plan, but that was also when I was a kid. That was my dream.
Yeah.
Just to have my own gym and do certain way. I still haven't done that yet, like the one I want. But I had a gym for I lived at it for my whole career. So it's 98 through I don't know when I retired.
Wow. So you love the fight game, but I know you said time is very hard right now. Would you ever want to do commentating for the UFC or kind of do something within the UFC again? Because I remember after you were the vice president of marketing.
I'm happy to do stuff with them. I do stuff with them all the time, like fan experience things and stuff. And they've had me do some commentary on some other stuff, but I wouldn't mind doing guest commentary here and there. I mean, like I said, right now I don't want to be like a commentator where I'm going 40. I'm traveling with them 40 weeks a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because because I can't bring my kids with me. When they were little, we could bring them everywhere. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But now they got things. They got cheerleading or sports or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So getting back to the UFC, or no, not even just the UFC, just like you and your fighting. If you could have a dream fight, you in your prime, and then somebody else in their prime.
With everybody, I mean, I would like it to fight John Jones.
Yeah.
When we're both fighting, and I just think my style matches up really well with his. I mean, one of the things that he did really well, and I got away from it, but I was able to do it too. Was he's usually able to outfight guys in there, and if they're better strikers than him, he was a better wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Or he was good at putting a fight where he wanted to fight it, and good game plans, and he goes through them. And to me it was a little boring sometimes because he was sticking to the game plan, but I get it. And as a coach, I get it.
Yeah.
So I remember telling Cruz Gomez, a friend of mine, great fighter, but he'd shoot in, take it down, and go for a submission right away, like he's an animal, like a little monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, can do me a favor and just stay on top and elbow him or punch him a few times, get some points, and then go for the submission. You took this guy down 3 times, and I think you're going to lose this round.
Yeah.
Because he went right to a submission and lost it, and the guy gets on top and is like doing one of these things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I think you lost that round, and you're killing this guy. So please, just sit on top of him. So as a coach, you get it.
Yeah.
But I think it's been a good match. I'm a lot longer. People thought I was listed at 76 inches.
Oh, okay.
My reach, and John did that because mine's about 79 and a half. So if they measured that, or they probably listed it at 80. And if you see 80 on a light heavyweight, you go, oh, he's got a long reach. We got to plan for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You see 76, he doesn't. You're right. That's why John did that. John was funny.
Yeah.
Like he had. We used to, when the UFC would show up to film us, getting prepared for a fight, right? He'd have me be southpaw all day. I would stand my southpaw stance the whole day, like mitts, sparring, bag work. So I was a lefty for that, so they couldn't see anything I was doing.
Damn.
I was John's. I don't know why it mattered. I didn't think it did, but it was pretty fun. It was just funny.
Yeah.
Huh. That's kind of smart.
But if you go back and look, I just told me go back and look at some old like pre-fight things, and you'll see it. I'm southpaw.
Definitely. Well, so what are you working on now? Now that you're out of the fight game and everything, what do you do? Like, what are you working on? Any new projects?
I'm working on a lot of stuff. I'm working on with Nesta on a new like MMA. It's an MMA conditioning, strength and conditioning certification.
Okay.
Get a certification on a program and certification, so you can do some really good strength and conditioning stuff. So,
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
So, how do you think the UFC did the UFC change you as a person, or like did this Hollywood lifestyle kind of? Are you still the same person you were in high school, or have you bettered yourself?
The funny thing is, I get a lot. We obviously always change. Everyone changes, But I I get the compliment I get a lot is that I'm still the same guy they knew when they first met me.
Oh, okay.
You know, but I think for me, like, honestly, I didn't really start getting famous till I was in my 30s. I was at 31, you know. And, you know, first time I got the title and got real famous, I was 35 already. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was a wild time, too. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of stuff. I probably made plenty of mistakes. Probably,
Of course.
did plenty of things I shouldn't have. But but I obviously did a lot of the right things too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a good time.
Do you like the fame?
I don't know that. I think the pluses outnumber the minuses.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, because our fans are great. 99% of my interactions with fans is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice when someone truly gets happy to take a picture with you. I mean, that makes me feel good. You know, that
Yeah.
I'm glad I could make their day better. Yeah, I don't. It is what it is. You know, I used to think I didn't like performing though. Like I was like, you know, I perform because I have to and for stuff, and you know, I really got into fighting because I love fighting. It seemed like a lot better idea than getting a real job.
Yeah, being a
And
counselor.
I'm like, I get to fight for a living, really? Like I love fighting.
Yeah.
I fought growing up all the time, and I always said I never liked guys. I never started a fight. I didn't make a guy fight me. I don't hit a guy. I wasn't hitting the guys that don't want to fight. But you know, looking back, when I was about 21, 22, I figured out I wasn't real good at letting him out of it either. Like so, you know, you threaten a friend of mine. I step in. Hey man, he don't want to fight you, but I will.
Yeah.
Oh no, I got no problem with you. Well, you kind of do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd go through and a lot of them made the right decision, but I made them put their tail between their legs and crawl out the door. And looking back, like when I was 21, 22, I kind of grew up. Like, the problem, most of those guys, they're not much competition, if any. And so there's no fun there for me. I like fighting because I like the competition of it. I like the game of chess with guys. I just like being able to beat someone in that way.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know. The fight game.
Do you like what the UFC had behind? You just didn't like the entertainment, like having to perform. You just kind of liked the part where you got to fight and make money at the same time.
No, I love. I got to fight. I got paid. I get paid to do what I love for a living. So
Yeah.
you can't beat that.
Yeah,
and
no,
I
definitely,
didn't mind. I never minded being a fan. Never minded do that stuff. But for me, I mean, it was one of those things. I get paid to do what I love for a living. And so I thought that I didn't really care for whether or not about the performing stuff. But I actually did a show with David Spade where I went I was out standing out there. I was doing a comedy set, right? I was walking. I'm on stage doing a comedy set. Now he's got him and another person in my ear telling me the jokes. So they have me to tell me what to say, and I just repeat after them, right? But and I didn't get all the reaction from the crowd. They don't know this is going on. So, you know, the reaction from the crowd. I actually figured out I really enjoyed that. Like I do like performing. You know, if you look at it, like I get that mode when I'm at parties sometimes. That I'm having fun. I like to entertain people. So, I figured out I like being an entertainer. So it's fun.
Yeah.
What's so with the fame and everything? Of course, it comes fans. Any like really weird or crazy things a fan had you do throughout your whole career?
Throughout my whole career, where do I start?
Yeah.
That would be like, where do I start?
What's your most that you can bring up the top of your head? What's the most crazy thing you can think a fan asked you to do or sign?
I think
the
the dumbest one is they want me to punch them in the face. But I had guys like I had guys that with the security actually removed them because they wouldn't stop asking me. And like coming up to me, I like get my. I'm like, dude, like I didn't try to get the security over. They just they get worried. You know,
Yeah.
like this guy keeps going up. I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, but I don't know. After hitting Jason Ellis in the arm on the show, I had a bunch of people ask me to hit him in the arm. Body shots, you know. I take a body shot. I don't know, man. It's like, you know, I had one guy. I see this guy in Vegas, not from Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
He was a friend of my lawyer, actually, from Vegas. And we were in Hawaii at a bar, and we were playing pool. And this guy goes, hey, we're talking about choking people out and how long it takes. Oh, you can't choke me out in 20 seconds. I can hold my breath that long. I'm like, really? Okay. $20 says if I get to start with an N? Yeah. Okay. $20 says you go out before 20 seconds. Ready? Like 2 seconds later. He wakes up and paid his $20, and then we played pool for a couple hours, and 2 weeks later I got sued.
Really?
He tried to sue me. It was stupid. I mean, my lawyer actually was really cool about it. Yeah, the offer they wanted was below what he was going to charge me.
Oh wow!
For it to go through trial, and I'm like, and he's like, why don't you just pay it and I won't charge you for anything. And it was really cool. But like, yeah, it was. I said no, I'm not giving $1. He said, what if you give that $1 to charity in his name? Okay.
Different
story. Okay, no problem. We'll do that. My lawyer said, just don't do that anymore. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
So when you were, I gotta ask this because my dad never told me. Because I always wanted to ask you, how did you meet my dad? Like, how did that? Do you remember that story? How did that story go?
So, Brad Penny, my buddy, used to have these crazy Halloween parties, right? And they're nuts. They're wild, fun. There's a lot of people there. It's good. He's a good old country boy, but it's near Hollywood. It was in Calabasas. Played for the Dodgers. A lot of crazy people there. Met some cool people and heard some great stories. But so I told Josh Thompson and John Fitch to bring their girls, and I just started seeing Heidi, who became my wife, and then a couple of her other friends were with us, right? And we're talking up this party. I'm talking about this party. It goes to like 3, 4 in the morning all the time. Got all these people there. The painted girls from the Playboy Mansion used to come over after. It was a wild party. Always fun. But we're there and he just met a girl and was engaged. And so he has a party, and it is not even 12 on. You could hear crickets walking through the party. I was like, wow. I was so embarrassed. And one of his security guy, Thomas, Big Thomas. Yeah. He's like, hey man, I know you got a bum. Like, I got a buddy that's throwing a party in here. He wants to take you down there. All right, cool. Well, something. Okay, well, thank you. I felt bad because I've been bragging with us. They had fun giving me shit. Well, yeah, it was real wild. Yeah, thanks, bro.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for running our Halloween. So we went down and I ran into him. We just hit it off because I'm a little crazy and fun. People tend to like me when I party.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a good time. So it was fun. We had a great time. We ended up we went home and. We were there like 6, and then we went home, which was like 10 minutes away at the time. And we were there and took a nap and then got up and we're like, hey, Cole, are you guys still over there? You guys still doing up? Okay, we'll come by. So we came back and we were there for 3 days hanging out.
Really?
That's fine. It was a good time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because when he brought you up first, don't hit me for saying this, but I had no idea who you were. When I was younger, when he brought you up, he goes like, yeah, Chuck Liddell was here, and I was like, I don't know, because he told me, he goes, Chuck Liddell, and I was like,
Well,
I don't know who that is, and I looked
mean,
you
if
up.
you think about it, I retired in 2010.
Yeah.
So most people your age, unless their dad showed them or they were watching it with their dad, don't know me, or unless you're big in the video game.
Yeah.
I get those too. I get some kids like, I play on the video game. Like, how do you know?
But yeah, no, it was crazy seeing you because I watched before I even met you. I watched videos of like knockouts and you on interviews, and I was like, man, this guy's kind of scary. And then I met you, and you were like, it's you.
Yeah,
It's a totally different
I'm so
person.
laid back, like with stuff. Like I just think, I'm not much for, I think I was saying earlier.
So I know you're a busy guy. I was doing things. So what?
I do a lot of traveling and a lot of events. With the military vets, I do some stuff with the E3 Ranch. Go out there, do some stuff with them. I'm doing a lot of stuff. Leviathan is my management team to do a lot of appearances.
Is there anywhere you'd want to take your kids though, like a vacation, no work involved, like a dream vacation? Take your kids.
Dream vacation. Well, here's the thing. I want to take them out to the ranch. I just gotta get them out. Let me take them out there because they have everything. They like horses. We get them a horseback riding. I get them out there shooting bow and arrow. They like that. They got little 22s. They can shoot those.
Oh yeah.
Nice. But yeah, I like everywhere. Like a lot of places. My favorite places. I would like doing places in Canada. I always like the people up there are always great. When I was in Australia, I had a great time. We had a good time in Australia. Yeah, I like the people. Hawaii is one of my places, but that's more because of the people I know out there than anything.
Yeah.
I really like some of my friends out there.
What's your? Do you have a favorite new generation UFC fighter?
Favorite? New generation. Okay, so that takes Glover Teixeira out of it. No, he's old school. He's from my, but he's just, he's awesome. The guy he fought, man, it's tough. Like, I forget his name. Terrible with names. But that kid was tough, man. I mean, Glover's a beast, man. He fought. That was a great fight.
What do you think of Sean O'Malley?
Sean O'Malley, I like him. I like watching him. I like the way he fights. So yeah, I mean, I wish him the best. I like watching him fight. He's one of those guys that's always gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's always always tries to go for the walk off.
I mean, I like Oliveira. I like the kid stuff, man. I really like his style. I mean, he's a beast, man. You gotta be careful, take him down, and he hits hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He can take a punch, man. He's gonna get hurt. I think he's gonna get hurt. It looked like he got hurt in every fight I've seen him in, but he survived. Keeps going.
Yeah.
Did you ever want to go into the boxing world?
I forget what year it was. It was probably 2006, 2007. I think it's still champion. We were negotiating with Holyfield to do a kickboxing match. It was funny. I found out later that they were also negotiating with. I just found out recently. They were because Boss was telling the story, and I'm not really. They were doing that with me too. Like it was like Boss Rudin was out. They were trying to talk to him too, but they were doing the same thing to him. They started out with like kickboxing, full leg kicks and knees and grabbing them, and then they're like, well, we don't know about those leg kicks. I'm like, okay, fine. As long as you're paying enough money, I'm good.
Yeah.
At the time, I don't know. At the time, I don't know what the amount difference was. I don't remember all that, but it just never worked out. They kept taking things away. Like, okay, you offer enough money, I'll box you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not much of it. I mean, he should beat me in boxing.
Yeah.
But in kickboxing, I think I would have beat him. Yeah. I mean, I'm really a boxer has about if he's standing in a boxing stance, and I'm kicking, and he hasn't trained for kicks. Say we signed up and we're gonna fight in 6 months. He couldn't train. He couldn't train if he trained to block kicks and do all that stuff and whatever. leg kicks. If he blocked my leg kick, I promise you, he blocked it once.
Yeah.
After that, it's gonna hurt so bad. I have an extra layer of bone in my shin. I'm probably on both of them. I've only seen X-rays on one, but it's got a whole layer of bone on top. My shins are hard. And a boxer, like if you that leg kick, if they stand at boxing stand, I pam that leg a couple times. By the end of the first round, they're not gonna be able to put enough weight on their front foot to knock me out.
Damn. It's impressive though.
Yeah, that's
if you sit back and think about it, like.
Well, they always talk about the striking, and like they said, when I talk to a good boxing coach, where I'm working with them, I just tell them you can't change my stance. Work from here, because I'm not gonna fight that way. Because if I fight like that, like we used to always let people when we were sparring. So, remember when I came into this, we were all trying to figure out how to train this stuff, how to mix it together. So everybody used to kickbox, and then we wrestle, and then we jiu-jitsu. But people were standing in their, kickboxing stance where they were kickboxing, and then standing in a wrestling stance where they're wrestling, not standing in their fight stance.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have it during the fight. So it changes your timing and distance and all that stuff if you change it. And so, it's one of those things. Like you have to spar. So when we started sparring, so you have to spar from that stance. You can't spar in a kickboxing stance. So one of the things we started doing was you can shoot anytime during our sparring. You can do double leg. So the reason I'm telling the story is that shows you what happens when they're standing in a kickboxing stance. Josh Koscheck is a friend of mine. I love Josh. But Josh Koscheck, who's a national champ wrestler, got taken down by Scott Leidy, who's a kickboxer.
Oh.
And I don't think he'd even done MMA yet. He did some MMA for a minute. We started to learn, but he hadn't done anything. He hit him with a double leg takedown and took him straight to his back. Damn. I died laughing. I'm like, you just got taken down by our kickboxer.
Oh yeah.
But he was fighting him like a kickboxer. He was in a kickboxing stance and wasn't expecting a shot. So it's one of those things like you.
So with you right now, you got a little older and you have a family. Are you officially done with everything with fighting?
I would say more than likely yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anyone would offer enough money to make it make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, Ariel Wani called me one time. He's like, "Hey man, I heard who's gonna fight Tyson for $10 million." I said, I haven't heard any. They haven't talked to me about it yet, but if they get $10 million for, I'm in. I'll fight him in Holyfield the same night.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Same time. Whatever you want. We can do it at the same time. I don't care.
So would you do it with the younger generation too? Like I'm just gonna throw a number. Let's say Jake Paul offered you $25 million. Would you fight him?
Is that a serious question?
In a sense. Because he's younger.
I don't care how young he is. For that much money, I'm dangerous.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to come after me, and I'm gonna land punches on him. I'm a good boxer. I'm a decent boxer. I'm a kickboxer, but I'm a good boxer.
Yeah.
I'm a decent boxer. A guy like he's probably a good amateur.
Yeah.
With power. And he's getting there. I mean, although, he's ready. If they feel he's ready to go pro, his coach are watching him and they're being very, very careful. If they think, he can beat somebody, I think they're not going to put him in front of somebody they don't think he's going to beat.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with that.
And are pretty confident. And I think that's one of the reasons that they'll never put him in front of me.
Yeah.
Because even if they think he should beat me, you can't. I'm one shot away from one mistake on his point away from knocking him out, and I throw from a lot of weird angles, and I throw from a lot of weird angles, and I throw, which really throws off traditional boxers.
Yeah,
it makes it a little weird for them, and they get hit by some stuff they shouldn't.
Okay. So. No, I like that. I personally would like to see you fight him because I have never seen one of your fights. I was supposed to go to your last fight, but I broke my leg.
Oh.
Yeah, it's terrible. But so getting into with your last fight and then that whole rivalry between you and Tito, how much of it was actually real and how much was promotional?
During the time when it was coming out and all that stuff, he was trying to talk his way out of fighting me. He was trying to say, "Whoa, we're friends." Whatever. Like, I can't fight friends. We gotta get paid more money and whatever. Like, no, you just don't want to get beat.
Yeah.
I mean, styles make fights. I will beat him in a wrestling match.
Yeah.
A wrestling match. That, especially when we're in our prime, I'll beat him in a wrestling match, or I'll beat him in a jiu-jitsu match. He can't strike with me. When I was in my prime, he couldn't touch me. We sparred because we had been sparring before that. I only sparred about 10 times, and I beat the brakes off him. Like, I mean, it wasn't even. I mean, I played with him.
Yeah.
And I was always nice about not hitting him too hard. I remember he was getting ready for Yuki Kondo, and Dana brought me out to box with him. And we're in Vegas. I was out going out the night before. I come in and we're sparring, and I'm fighting him southpaw. So because he's fighting the southpaw, so I sparred southpaw. But after the third round, he threw his Hager up and stormed out. I mean, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Because watching those
But
fights.
he was. I mean, honestly, that whole time, that was the whole thing. He was all a friend. I mean, he slept on my couch. I'm honest, because you were too cheap. I came down to help you spar. You were too cheap to give me a hotel room, and I was cool enough. I was cool enough to sleep on your couch.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, whatever. But here's the thing: like, people like think I hate him. I don't. Like, I wish him the best. Like, he's got kids. I heard he's a good dad. I mean, that's all good, man. I wish him the best, man. Like, I want him to, whatever. I mean, yeah. So,
Because when I would watch, I always loved watching you and Tito's rivalry. Because to me, it was one of the most entertaining and craziest rivalries that have been in most sports histories.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Even down to that last Ultimate Fighter. Like, I told Dana that he was going to do that. He was never going to fight me. Mm-hmm. He just wanted the attention. I didn't want to give it to him.
Yeah.
I fought that. Wanted to make it Forrest, because Forrest just beat him. But and the funny thing is, if you watch the show, I haven't even seen it, but I heard it was about the 8th episode. They had these two guys talking about how Tito's neck's hurt and he might.
Yeah, I watched that episode.
That happened week 1.
Oh.
They took the film and put it in that happened week 1. He was already talking about it when he showed up.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
So he was just getting the press. That's what he wanted.
That's crazy. Because it was so weird. But it was so weird, like, watching the fight, like, him saying all this shit, getting all this promotion. I hate to say it, you beat the shit out of the guy every time you guys fought.
Oh.
Like, when you guys were in your prime, you kicked the shit out of him. And it looked like it looked like he was just doing it for money. It didn't even look like he really wanted to, like, show people that he was better than you.
No, he knew he wasn't.
Yeah.
It was almost like a big brother syndrome. Like, we trained together 10 times. I mean, he couldn't do anything. Like, he took me down twice.
Yeah.
And the whole time, like, I'm a wrestler, we keep track of stuff. I took him out 16 times, and he took me down twice with just straight wrestling for jiu-jitsu. With striking, if their striking was allowed, he never took me down to practice. Mm-hmm. When he started on top, mounted, or in the guard or mounted, he couldn't stay on top of me for a half a minute. Mm-hmm. So if you think about it, you put all that together, it's like, what's it going to do to me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, what's it going to do? I mean, he's like, man, I can't do anything. He just happened to be, and it's not, it's just kind of a matchup thing. Like, he tries to muscle you and bully you and do that. No one does that to me.
No.
You're not going to bully me. You're not going to mess me. I have a harder time with the quicker, like, swing single, like, switching it up, change guys. Quick guys. They're quick than I do with guys who are trying to throw me around with muscle.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, because it was to me it was always entertaining. But like going with your
it was really good, and he did something. I mean, but back then too, like some of the stuff they do now, I'm like, what is like?
Yeah.
And people were out of line. He said, in San Diego, he was on an interview, and he said, I don't date white trash bitches like Chuck. And one of my buddies said something to me. So this was before the Vitor fight. He's not even fighting me. I don't like, why are you trashing me? But like, out of nowhere, leave me alone. So we go to the fight, And then we go to the after party. My buddy John Huntington was running it, was one of the promoters there, was helping it. And it's the after party, and he's there, and Tito was there too. And we were at the same place, and John Huntington comes up to me, hey man, he needs to squash this stuff with Tito because he knew I was pissed. Your guys are gonna beat him up, or not beat him up, but you guys are gonna get in a fight with his guys. You know, I'm okay. Bring him over, and he came over. And it was funny. Who was the guy he had with him from Fast and the Furious?
Bald guy?
Yeah.
Vin Diesel?
Vin Diesel. Yeah, he had Vin Diesel with him to mediate. To mediate. I think. Like he was just trying to make sure we talked. It was all right. I just said, hey, it's my girlfriend. Apologize. Oh, I wasn't talking about her. I was talking about Juliette Lewis. I'm like, you. What? Because I had some Us magazine that said we were dating, which is crazy. But bro, you do know she plays white trash girls on TV, right? Yeah. That's not her. Right? She's an actress, right? No, not even close. You're an idiot. Yeah. But anyway, apologize. So he apologized. I said, secondly, you ever talk about my family and friends on a radio interview again? I know where you live, and I'll beat you in your living room. You got that? And he said, no, man, I'm sorry. I mean, it's okay, cool then. Everything's good. And we walked off. It was funny. My little buddy used to go to me, man, you did that to me in front of my friends. I would have hit you just because.
Yeah. Like, even if you, to me, like, even if I know I'm going to lose a fight, if someone is kind of bitching me around,
but I mean, I can see where he figured out he deserved it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're an asshole. Like, why? Why are you talking? Like, I don't get that nowadays too. Like, all that stuff where guys are, all these guys are like, talking about guys' wives and kids,
mothers and family.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Leave them out of it. Like, it's not.
It's not.
Unless they're actively making comments and doing stuff, leave them out of it. I mean, if they join into the fray and making comments on social media and all that stuff, you can go back and forth with them there. I don't care. Yeah. I mean, that's one of those things. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care anyway. But
it's still like a.
I told my son when he was younger, he was complaining about people saying stuff about him on the internet. I go, okay, that guy's trashing. Okay, don't shit. Do you know him? No? Okay. Does he know you? No? Okay. Then why the fuck do you care? And number one. And number two, if you do care, and if you can't let that stuff go, just let it go, you're going to get off social media. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna close your social media. So, it was fine. I mean, but it's one of those things. Like, if I comment on somebody trashing me on online or give me shit, no, I do it just for fun. I'm having a good time. Like, we used to do a lot on them, actually, when I did more Twitter stuff. Like, when I get on there, like, people say something, and I always have fun just retweeting it, what they said to me, and let my fans
just go at them.
Roast them.
Yeah.
I remember when a guy said, oh, you only take pictures of celebrities? No. And then a kid I'd met a long time before, and I found him. I let him in an after party and talked to him a few times. He called me, and it was a nice guy, nice kid. Mm-hmm. His mom got in there and read this guy right out about how nice I was to her son for no reason. He can't do anything.
Yeah, no, because
it was like it just went off on this guy. It was so funny.
Because even
his mom, it was great. That was sweet.
That's awesome.
Because even like when I was younger, we'd walk around in public with you. No matter who it was, no matter how many times it was, no matter when it was, you always took pictures with people, and you always had a quick conversation with them. So that's what I kind of always like. Because I've seen celebrities be like, yeah, we'll take it in a minute, but like you're not gonna remember that kid in a minute. So like, with you always just took the picture, had a quick conversation.
I try to, and it's a balance, and I get it more like when you're in these things. Like you think about it, like you're in situations where like I remember once someone get mad because Michael Phelps wouldn't take pictures after he's been drinking. It was at 10 o'clock at night. It's like, hey, that's fair. Don't get mad at him.
Yeah.
Like, because if it looks wrong, someone's gonna, he just, hey, I've been drinking. I'm just relaxing. I'm gonna, and I get it. Now I still do. I take pictures. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I don't care. I have, or not. People are fair, nice and polite. Most people get it. It's like time and a place.
Yeah, no, and that's
there's been some ones that people forget time and a place. People lose their mind sometimes. I remember once I was walking with my older daughter, which is a kid baby, 5 or 6 or I don't know, 7 maybe, and guy comes by, like a guy comes running up to her and knocks her down, like not on purpose, but just in her, like excited. I'm on the ground. I'm picking her up, making sure she's fine, making sure she's all right. First words out of his mouth, "Well, can I get an autograph?" I looked up at him and went, "You need to run. Get away from me." And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, if he had just said, "Oh, shoot, I'm sorry, is she okay? Can I get an autograph?" I would have been fine.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
watch it next time. Be cool. Here you go.
Yeah.
But like people lose their minds sometimes.
Because I've experienced this a lot. I'm very grateful from the stuff that I've experienced, especially out in California and meeting you and all these celebrities that and other people don't realize they're more than just like what you see on the TV or the movies. Like they also need to go get their stuff and go live a normal life.
It is really funny. I get people. I think one of the funniest comments I get. It's cool. I think I like when people say it, but they go, "What the hell are you doing?" "What the hell are you doing at Costco?" I'm like, buying food. Like I'm buying stuff. I like stuff at Costco too.
Yeah.
Like I said.
I like Costco.
But yeah, it's like it's like I'm surprised to see you do normal stuff.
Yeah.
No.
And I feel like that's kind of like what it goes with this generation. They're like, oh, they have X amount of money. They have an assistant to go do that for them stuff. But like, I feel like some of them just kind of want to be like, yeah, let me go to Costco or In-N-Out or something.
Yeah, but I don't have an assistant.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, I like to go look. I like to go shop. Like, I like to look around and see if there's something else I want to try. If I have a few things I could send somebody, like every once in a while we have someone that helps me every once in a while. But yeah, I'll send them out to get I'm gonna need eggs and this. But everything else, I like to pick out my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your own thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually good that you're still not so worried about getting bombarded by fans and all that
I
stuff.
think it also helps, like for us, like our fans are really. I don't know. We're just really respectful. For the most part, really good to us. So I don't have any of the real crazy stuff.
Yeah. Not like any Justin Bieber fans or anything.
But people get there's times when people like are a little over pushy. There's times when people don't, but for the most part, I stop as much as I can. I give it back. Look, I got paid a lot of money to do what I love for a living. I still get paid a lot of money to do stupid stuff, and fans are the reason why. So I try to give back when they, and it makes people's day. It makes them happy. It's an easy thing for me. Most of the time, people go, "Man, I'm sorry." And I was in line for something.
So towards the end of your career, right, just like a normal career, stuff started to get a little rocky. What was your motivation to keep pushing through and keep?
I still thought I could be the best. I really kept looking. Oh, I can do this better. I can do that better. And I was becoming a better fighter. I think I was fighting great in the last fight. I got an accidental headbutt, and I don't remember a thing after that. I think I hit autopilot and got knocked out. The headbutt knocked, 3/4 would knock me out, and then he hit me when I came in going after him. If that had gone 7 more seconds, I would have won the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things, like he's a guy that's a great fighter, and if I can't beat him, he's kind of in that the last couple of fights. If I can't beat those guys, I shouldn't be in the top 10, and why am I fighting?
Yeah.
Because I was in it to prove I was the best. And at the end of your career, this and that, and why'd you keep fighting? I was finally getting paid.
Yeah.
And I thought, here's the thing, I was getting paid. it's hard to get yourself to get ready and train and fight again but if you're getting paid a lot of money and you still think you can get better and make the improvements you need to come back, and that's where I was at, and that was when I chose to retire. I don't know why Dana's always said he says now that he made me retire. He came to that dinner to make me retire. Mm-hmm. I guess he doesn't remember it, but when he came to me, I said, hey, the first thing I sat down and I knew he was going to ask, I said, hey bro, I'm ready to retire. I just need to give me a little time. So before we announced it, he went, oh man, thanks. I was going to tell you, I can't have you fight anymore. I was going to ask you to retire. Yeah. And he said, I know you're looking out for me. It's good. It was time.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to compete at that level.
Do you and Dana still talk?
Yeah, we're still cool. Yeah, I love Dana.
Yeah, pretty cool guy.
Yeah. I mean, and love him or hate him. I mean, without him and Lorenzo and Frank, we'd still be fighting for peanuts.
Yeah.
Because I've always heard about the UFC pay wage and what's your opinion on that?
Here's the thing, I don't know. I don't know how much people get paid. I don't know who's getting paid what anymore. I'm not in that business. I just don't ask. It's not my business.
Yeah.
But when I was fighting, I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell them. But at this point, it doesn't matter. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I was listed as getting paid $500,000 a fight for the commission, right? But each fight, I also got paid $1.5 million for my ancillary rights. I got paid, and I got a bonus on the back end of the pay-per-view. So, people, you're making $500,000. I remember. So you go back and you look at my at the fights. So, the last few fights, it said $500,000 is what my purse was. Mm-hmm. I mean, but that was just my base. But so people were, he's only making that much for this fight. That's not what I made.
Yeah.
I made a lot more.
Oh yeah.
So, so I don't know. I assume that they still kind of do that. I mean, I don't know that they would, but maybe not. Maybe they don't. I really don't know what the fighter pay is right now. So
was that
I don't want to talk on it.
When you were starting, from when you first got into the UFC, after the first few fights, that's kind of the money you started making?
Ooh.
No?
Oh, no.
What were in your younger days, when you first started getting into the UFC?
Okay. When Dana was my manager, I was coming out of a fight. Give me a new contract. The UFC offered me 1-1, 2-2, and 3-3 for a year contract. Okay. And it's 1,000 and 1,000, so 2,000 if you win. Mm-hmm. And then the next fight would be 2-2, so 4,000 if you win. Mm-hmm. And the last one's 3-3. 3-3, so 6,000 wins. So how much does that come out to?
Oh, I'm terrible at that.
12,000 dollars. $12,000.
I cheated through high school.
$12,000 for the year. So then he's like, Dana's like, we're not signing an exclusive contract for $12,000 if he wins all 3 fights. Mm-hmm. Forget it. And he got me a fight at Table Mountain, and Steve Heath, tough kid, man. That was one of the hardest weight cuts ever. They had a day of weigh-in. I was meeting him at catch weight at 195, and I messed up the weight cut a little bit. It was a tough one. 19.5 pounds in one day.
Damn. Oh, that's crazy.
2 days. Well, 2 days I get. Well, less than 12 hours, but 2 days.
Wow.
That's insane.
No, 18 hours. 18 hours. Yeah. But yeah, it was.
That's nuts.
That is crazy.
I could never. I can't do that normally for a year.
Yeah, but so he had me fight. I think he fought him for 2 and 4 or something, and then it went to. Then we went back. And I knocked him out. And we went back to the UFC, and we got 5 and 5, 7.5, 7.5, 10 and 10.
Oh.
From my next deal, and then I fought Paul Jones for the 5 and 5. And then I went and I asked for Randleman because he was coming down from heavyweight champ. He was coming down. I asked for Randleman, and then we asked, well, since we're taking the bigger fight, can we get 10 and 10? So I skipped the 7.5, so I got 10 and 10 for that. So then, right after knocking out, so I knocked him out in minute 18. I was, I think, a 5 to 1 underdog, something like that. Knocked him out in the minute 18 of the first round. And so Pride asked the UFC if they could use me because they needed someone to fight Guy Metzger. And so we did like a 6-fight contract with the UFC. And was talking to a contract with Pride. And my contract with the UFC was like 2-tiered. Like if you win in Pride, it's up here. You lose, it's over here.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't bad at the time.
Yeah.
But then I got from there. They offered 20 and 20 for, so I went from 10 and 10 for Randleman. They offered 20 and 20 for Guy Metzger.
Oh wow. So it's kind of the more you went up the ladder, it's like any job.
It kind of kept going like that. Like there's small steps, and then probably the coolest thing was like after I won the title, I had 2 more fights left on my contract. So we usually renegotiate the contracts when there's 1 fight left.
Okay.
So we got all the way to the week of the fight, and like, hey, how come you don't like try to renegotiate your contracts? I'm like, I don't know. We had a contract. We usually renegotiate after this fight, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm not really. I'm not. And I think they gave me a $225,000 bonus just for not renegotiating my contract. But
Wow.
Damn.
at the time, it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was fine. We weren't making that much for the life.
Nowadays, you'll spend it on gas here.
No, I know California. We're,
Yeah, you spend it on gas.
that's a lot anytime, but it was like a lot. I mean, that was. I think that would have doubled at the time. They would have probably at least doubled what I made for the fight.
Damn.
Yeah, that's insane.
So with the UFC, what's your most memorable moment like in the UFC?
Well, honestly, it's hard to say. But I mean, probably the most memorable one is if I put a gun to my head,
Yeah.
when I knocked out Randy in the second fight, it was a rematch. I just won the show. My guys won the show, so. And then against Randy, and then I got to go out and beat Randy, knocking Randy out. And I beat him the way I like to beat him. So that was probably the highlight. I mean, if I had to pick one, I had so many good times.
Yeah.
Part of me wishes that, I was around in this time when I could fight, 5 times a year. I would never got in trouble. I've always been in camp, but I love fighting. I mean, I fought a Randleman and Guy Metzger in 3 weeks.
Wow.
And it's great. Like, it was easy. Like, I just want to fight. I'm in great shape. I took a week off. We trained for a week and we went and fought.
Yeah.
To put a game plan in for a week and we went and fought.
It's a lot of work.
That is.
No, but $60,000 was the total I made for those 2 fights without sponsors. But I had 10 and 10 and 20 and 20. That was more money than I made in a year fighting at that point.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
Damn, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's awesome.
I actually sold my '88 Ford Ranger after that.
So, and I know you have kids, and I have Charlie. Would you ever, if he or any of them came up to you and like, hey, I want to be a fighter, would you?
Okay, I'm training to fight. I want to be able to fight. I'd like him to wrestle, but we'll see. I mean, I'm not pushing my kids too hard at anything. I mean, I want them to know how to fight, and I want them just because I think it's for a man. That's something that's great, and I like the martial arts side of it. He goes to martial arts with a great coach, great instructor. Farboard's Team Karate Center. If anyone wants to go there, great guy. But my thing, it's like if fighting's one of those things. Unless you love it,
Yeah.
it's a job.
Yeah.
And it's a job that messes with you all the time. I mean, I'm all for it. If you like it, go for it. And if my son wants to do it, it'd be awesome to see him if he wants to. I'm not sure. I want him to. I don't know if I want him to.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to. I want him to.
Yeah.
I'll support him in anything he wants to do. But I mean, you know, I think if I'm gonna, you know, if I was trying to get a professional athlete, you know, I'd try to get him in golf or something.